A chemical sitting in your bathroom right now is linked to cancer, and you have no idea it's there. While you've been trusting these billion-pound brands to care for your hair, they've been using your scalp as a dumping ground for formaldehyde-releasing preservatives, the same substance used to embalm dead bodies. But here's what makes this a scandal. British consumers received £0 in compensation, while Americans got £26 million for using the exact same products. Your shampoo, your harm, their profit. So, which brands are poisoning Britain's bathrooms? Let's start with the worst offender. Number 1. TRESemme Keratin Smooth. TRESemme Keratin Smooth promises salon-quality results without the salon prices. Smooth, manageable hair for under £5 at Tesco. Sounds perfect when you're on a fixed income, right? Here's what they didn't tell you. TRESemme Keratin Smooth contains DMDM-hydantoin, a preservative that releases formaldehyde every single time you use it. Not trace amounts, significant formaldehyde exposure, accelerating with heat and time. Precisely the conditions in your bathroom. Formaldehyde is classified as a Group 1 known human carcinogen by international cancer authorities. It damages your DNA by creating cross-links between nucleotides. The same mechanism it uses to kill bacteria, it uses on your cells. University of Leicester research confirmed links to nose and throat cancers, primarily through inhalation exposure that occurs every time you shower with these products. But cancer isn't the only risk. Formaldehyde causes allergic contact dermatitis in 8 to 9% of the population. The American Contact Dermatitis Society named it Allergen of the Year back in 2015. British women reported clumps of hair falling out in the shower, chemical burns requiring months of medical treatment, permanent scarring with no hair regrowth. Now, here's where the betrayal becomes criminal. Unilever, the company behind TRESemme, settled a lawsuit in America in 2014, paying out £10.2 million to consumers for their Suave products causing identical problems. Hair loss, scalp burns, chemical injuries. They knew. They've known since 2012 that DMDM-hydantoin causes severe harm. Yet they continued using it in TRESemme products sold throughout Britain. American consumers who used TRESemme Keratin Smooth filed class action lawsuits. Shannon Kenner documented clumps of hair falling out after 2 months of use, with blisters, pimples, burning sensations, and medical treatment requiring prescription medicated shampoos. Emily Castillo developed bald spots. Robin Lippetz experienced scalp irritation, redness, hotness, and itchiness. Thousands of complaints, millions paid in settlements. British users? 0 compensation, 0 lawsuits, 0 accountability. But the betrayal gets worse. Go to Tesco's website right now, search for TRESemme Keratin Smooth Conditioner 750ml bottle. Scroll down to the ingredients list. DMDM-hydantoin is still listed as of November 2025. They removed it in America after being sued, but British shelves? Still selling you formaldehyde-releasing poison. Because in Britain, there are no consequences. Number 2. Head & Shoulders. Head & Shoulders has been Britain's trusted anti-dandruff solution for decades. Your dad probably used it, maybe your grandfather. 83% brand awareness among UK consumers. The highest recognition of any shampoo brand in Britain. It works, doesn't it? The flakes disappear, the itching stops. Problem solved. Here's what they don't tell you. Head & Shoulders contains not 1 but 2 sulfates simultaneously. Sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate. A double sulfate formula that strips every drop of natural oil from your scalp through aggressive detergent action. Your scalp produces sebum for a reason. It's your natural protective barrier. It keeps your skin healthy, prevents infections, maintains moisture balance. Head & Shoulders strips it all away. So your scalp responds by overproducing oil to compensate. You wake up with greasy hair. You need to wash more often, which strips more oil, which triggers more oil production, which makes you wash more often. You're not solving dandruff, you're creating the conditions that ensure you'll need their product forever. It's a brilliant business model, terrible for your scalp. For anyone over 55, this is particularly brutal. Research from 2023 shows women in their 50s produce 30 to 40% less natural sebum than women in their 20s. Your aging scalp has already lost a significant portion of its protective barrier. A University of California study tested 20% sulfate solution on bald men with an average age of 56. The results? Significant scalp sensitivity, dramatic declines in hair growth cycles, prolonged hair loss phases. The aging scalp's compromised skin barrier, reduced ceramide levels, and slower healing capacity means sulfate damage persists longer and recovers more slowly in older adults. Head & Shoulders Classic Clean costs £3.50 for 400 millilitres at Tesco. That bottle will last you about 6 weeks, £30 per year, for a product that creates the problem it claims to solve. The zinc pyrithione kills the dandruff-causing fungus. That part works. But the double sulfates ensure your scalp will never recover its natural balance. You'll need their product forever. Number 3. Pantene Pro-V. Pantene promises healthier hair with every wash. The Pro-V formula, visible results, trusted by millions of British households for decades. Procter & Gamble's flagship hair care brand. Here's what they don't advertise in those glossy commercials. Pantene's formula relies heavily on silicones, dimethicone, cyclomethicone. These coat every strand of your hair in a plastic-like layer. For the first 2 weeks, your hair feels absolutely amazing. Silky smooth, manageable. You think you've finally found the perfect shampoo. You tell your friends about it. Then the buildup begins. Those silicones don't rinse away. They're designed not to. They accumulate, layer after layer, week after week. Within 2 to 3 months, your hair looks duller than a butter knife. It feels heavy. It refuses to hold any style. Nothing seems to help. Mumsnet users described the reality. One wrote, "My hair became like straw." Another reported, "Really disgusting oily patch at my crown. Not just normal grease, it was really thick oil." A third said, "I lost about 75% more hair than I usually do, with visible hair loss after the second use." Here's what's happening. The sulfates in Pantene work overtime, stripping your scalp's natural oils. Your scalp goes into panic mode, producing more oil to compensate. Now you've got greasy roots from oil overproduction and coated ends from silicone buildup that look like they haven't seen proper conditioner in decades. Multiple users report their shedding stopped completely after ditching Pantene. One woman described it like turning off a tap. The hair just stopped falling out. The formula creates a wax museum effect. Your hair is preserved in silicone coating while simultaneously being damaged by sulfate stripping. You're paying £5 to £6 per bottle to systematically destroy your hair. Number 4. Alberto Balsam. Here's what you're actually buying for 95 pence. Sodium laureth sulfate as the second ingredient, synthetic fragrance, legally hiding up to 200 undisclosed chemicals. Multiple allergens, including linalool and limonene, and enough propylene glycol to strip paint. Yes, the same chemical used in antifreeze. Unilever owns Alberto Balsam. They manufacture it in the same factories as their premium brands like Dove and TRESemme. But here's the specification they use. Make it the cheapest possible formula. A factory worker who manufactures supermarket-owned brands confirmed this. One supermarket's only specification was to make it the cheapest. Not comparable quality at lower prices, not good value. The absolute cheapest formula that can legally be called shampoo. Users described their scalps feeling sore like battery acid. That 95p saving costs you in dermatologist visits, prescription medicated shampoos trying to repair the damage, and permanent scalp sensitivity. The ingredients list reads like a chemistry experiment gone wrong. You're not washing your hair, you're conducting chemical warfare on your scalp. For 95p. Number 5. Garnier Fructis. Walk down the hair care aisle at Boots. Garnier Fructis bottles are covered in fruit imagery. Apples, grapefruits, bananas, plastered across every bottle. The packaging screams natural. The marketing promises botanical nourishment, pure fruit extracts for your hair. Turn the bottle around. Read the actual ingredients list. Synthetic fragrance, linalool, limonene, citronellol, parabens, propylene glycol, sodium lauryl sulfate. Not a single meaningful amount of actual fruit anywhere in the formula. It becomes more allergenic after you open the bottle, and it oxidizes through exposure to air. Citronellol produces 5.6% positive reactions in fragrance-sensitive individuals. You bought it because the apple on the front suggested something natural and safe. Something that wouldn't harm you. What you actually got was a synthetic chemical cocktail wrapped in deceptive fruit imagery. Garnier's natural positioning is pure marketing fiction. The actual apple extract that justifies putting an apple on the packaging appears near the very end of the ingredient list. Trace amounts only. Essentially meaningless. Everything that actually cleans your hair? Completely synthetic. The fruit is a lie. The natural claims are a lie. You're paying a premium for photography of apples while washing your hair with the same harsh chemicals as the budget brands. Number 6. Herbal Essences. Herbal Essences built their entire brand identity around nature. 90% natural origin screams from every bottle. 97% naturally derived appears in massive letters. Botanical imagery covers every square centimeter of packaging. They faced a 61-page class action lawsuit in America for these exact claims. Why? Because their products contain primarily synthetic chemicals. Sodium lauryl sulfate, propylene glycol, parabens, and 1,4-dioxane, a probable carcinogen that forms as a byproduct during manufacturing. Procter & Gamble, Herbal Essences owner, uses what can only be described as a deceptive natural origin method. They classify petroleum-derived chemicals as naturally derived because petroleum came from ancient organisms millions of years ago. Technically true, wildly misleading, legally fraudulent in the opinion of American courts. By this logic, plastic is natural, petrol is natural. You paid a premium for natural ingredients that don't exist in meaningful amounts. The botanicals that give the shampoo its name, they play minimal roles in the actual formulation. Window dressing for marketing photos. The Competition and Markets Authority investigated Herbal Essences' parent company, Unilever, for greenwashing in 2024. The investigation focuses on vague environmental claims, unclear recyclability statements, and deceptive natural imagery. Meanwhile, Unilever sells 53 billion multi-layer plastic sachets annually, nearly impossible to recycle, causing flooding in developing countries when they clog drainage systems. Only 0.2% of Unilever packaging is reusable, despite their sustainability pledges. Greenpeace protesters targeted Unilever's London headquarters for plastic pollution, while the company simultaneously runs waste-free world marketing campaigns. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. Number 7. Tesco own brand shampoo. Tesco extracts costs £1 to £1.50 for 500 millilitres. The label says natural apple extract. You're shopping at Tesco anyway for your groceries. Might as well save a few pounds on shampoo while you're there, right? Factory workers who manufacture these products confirm they're made in identical facilities to branded products. Same factories, same production lines, sometimes even the same base formulas. Consumer reports describe Tesco shampoo making their scalps feel sore like battery acid. That £1.50 savings costs you in scalp damage, excessive hair loss, and dermatological treatment to repair the damage. The supermarket own brand deception works because consumers assume same factory equals same quality, just cheaper. Wrong. Same factory, completely different specifications, different ingredient quality, different concentrations. The cheapest possible ingredients that technically qualify as shampoo under UK regulations. But before I tell you the two brands actually worth your money, you need to understand why the scandal exists in the first place. Britain's formaldehyde safety threshold is 50 times weaker than the European Union's. Not 5 times weaker, not 10 times weaker, 50 times. The EU lowered their threshold to 0.001% in July 2024 to protect sensitized consumers. The UK still uses 0.05%, the outdated standard that Europe abandoned as insufficient to protect public health. This means British shampoos can contain 50 times more formaldehyde without requiring any consumer warning whatsoever. This creates a bizarre two-tier safety system within the United Kingdom itself. Northern Ireland follows stricter EU rules under the protocol. A shampoo requiring warning labels in Belfast needs none in Birmingham. Same bottle, same ingredients, same harm. Different regulations based purely on which side of an invisible border you're standing on. 0 UK lawsuits have been filed against TRESemme, Pantene, OGX, Garnier, Dove, or Head & Shoulders. Not one. Despite British consumers experiencing identical harm to Americans who received £26 million in settlements. Zero compensation, zero accountability. Trading standards officers conduct zero proactive testing of cosmetic products. They rely entirely on consumer complaints, a reactive system that allows dangerous products to remain on shelves indefinitely. Most people never connect their hair loss to their shampoo. They think it's age, hormones, stress, genetics. They never file complaints, so regulators take no action. The UK lacks robust class action mechanisms. Group litigation orders exist, but are rarely used for consumer products. Individual consumers bear all costs of proving harm. For a £7 shampoo purchase, legal action is economically irrational. You're completely on your own. So here's what actually works. If you're looking for safe, effective hair care that won't poison your scalp, Faith in Nature costs £5 to £7 for 300 to 400 milliliter bottles. You'll find it at Superdrug, Tesco, Boots, and Holland & Barrett. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to buy it on Amazon. It's currently even cheaper than retail stores. Here's what that £6 actually buys you. 99.5% natural origin ingredients, 0 sulfates, not gentle sulfates, not mild sulfates, 0 sulfates, 0 parabens, 0 silicones, 100% vegan, B Corp certified, meaning they meet rigorous standards of social and environmental performance. Made right here in Britain, 99% biodegradable. And the packaging is 100% recycled and recyclable. They use essential oils for fragrance instead of synthetic chemicals hiding under the word parfum on ingredient lists. Now, if you're dealing with the hair thinning that hits 65% of women during and after menopause, Philip Kingsley's Density range represents 60 years of trichological expertise. Yes, it costs £40 per product at Boots, Look Fantastic and John Lewis. But here's why it's worth every single pound. This isn't just safe shampoo, this is actual treatment, specifically formulated for hormonal hair loss affecting aging women. Developed by trichologists, tested in clinical studies, proven effective specifically for aging hair. The density range contains niacinamide, biotin, and caffeine formulations that create optimal scalp conditions for hair growth. It removes follicle-clogging sebum while simultaneously strengthening hair resilience. It addresses the root cause of age-related thinning rather than just masking symptoms. £35 per bottle, lasting 2 to 3 months, breaks down to £12 to £17 monthly. You're already spending £14 to £20 monthly on hair care products that actively damage your hair. Redirect that spending to products developed by actual trichologists, products backed by clinical studies, products using your scalp as a healthy growth environment, not a chemical dumping ground for corporate profit. If you're on the tightest possible budget, Simple Kind to Hair costs just £3 for 400 millilitres. It's dermatologically tested, paraben-free, contains provitamin B5, chamomile and glycerin. Yes, it contains sodium lauryl sulfate, which is a milder sulfate than SLS, but it's specifically approved for sensitive scalps and won't strip your natural oils with the same aggression as Head & Shoulders double sulfate formula. Safer than spending 95p on Alberto Balsam's chemical warfare. Sometimes the safe choice costs exactly the same as the dangerous one. You just need to know which bottle to pick up. Which brand shocked you the most? Drop your experience in the comments. And if you want to watch a video like this one, click the video on the screen. Thanks for watching.